Hi everyone, I am Dak, a Somali teacher from Somalia right now. Thank you so much for joining me today this program. So this program is all about, I am introducing you to myself for those who don't know me. My real name is Dahir Hassan Ali. I was born and raised in Somalia, and I've never been to another country before in my lifetime, but really I like to go to 3 countries. One of them is the United States of America, because my relatives live in the United States, especially they live in Chicago. Some of them live in Minnesota, and a lot of friends live in the UK. So that's why I like to go UK one time in my lifetime. Second of all, I want to go to the Saudi Arabia, especially Mecca, because I want to do the biggest deeds from God. It's called Hajj. Second of all, for those who don't know me, my real name is Dahir Hassan Ali, and I am a teacher. I'm an English teacher. I am a senior English teacher. I teach English, especially for Somali community. I can teach low classes, high classes, and universities as well. So I have a program here on TikTok where I teach thousands of Somali students who cannot pay fees on the program. So I do live classes. I have multiple groups on TikTok, social media, different platforms like Instagram. I have messengers. I have Facebook, and I have TikTok. I have also YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, but these days I don't post anything. I don't download, upload something because for my business. And I was born in Somalia, raised in Somalia as well. I've never been to another country in my lifetime. And for those who don't know me, they say that why can English is so difficult? Why cannot we learn English? First of all, if you want to learn English, especially right now, I've been teaching English for 12 years, and right now my English is not as perfect because it depends on the country you live. It depends on the environment. It doesn't depend your culture, your background, where you're from. It depends on the environment. What I mean is, especially myself, I live in a country called Somalia, is where English is not spoken daily. So that's why my English is not good as other teachers. But I really do a lot of practice. So alhamdulillah, I cannot call myself that I cannot really express my thoughts to multiple teachers. MashaAllah, I can express my thoughts to different. I talk to native English speakers every day, and I watch movies. So one thing that will help you learn English is that to watch movies all the time, even if you don't understand. I know a lot of you might say, hey teacher, how can we listen even if you don't know anything about it? So that's it. First of all, if you cannot understand what native English speakers say, especially movies, I would recommend you to watch small podcasters or small podcasts like YouTube. You have to follow a native English speaker, YouTube, then you have to listen. Particularly if you are good at pronunciation, then you will learn a lot about pronunciation. If you want to speak better, you have to do that. That will help. But if you always go to school and take so many books, I think that won't help you, and that won't help the problem, because I tested to myself. I've been following for my Somali teachers only, and I was just listening to them. I was looking the blackboard, eyes on the blackboard, listen to teachers, and that won't help. But as long as I started watching movies and going to native English speakers and communicate with them, so a lot changed in myself, because right now, from now on, I can speak English, I can understand native English speakers. Even some of them are saying, wow, your English is really good, but I don't think that my English is good unless the top one. So, second of all, if you want to learn English, even if you are beginner or middle grade, so don't ask people, don't say, how's my English? So people should tell you your English is really amazing. But what if you say, if you have conversation for 1 minute, 2 minutes long, don't say, hey, how's my English? Because people might tell you the level, the pronunciation, and the communication, if your communication is good, and if your communication is bad. But what if you say, how's my English? The other people might say, they will give you a white lie. A white lie is something that people can give you a compliment, but that's not true. true compliment. They will say, hey, your English is really good. Wow, keep it up the good work. So that's not really what's good for you. Second of all, and if you want to speak English, don't be shy, first of all. So don't be shy, and you have to put a lot of things in mind. What I mean to put a lot of things in mind is that if you don't have so many conversations in your head, I think there is no way that you can speak English. So if you are a beginner, so think a lot of things. Watch, listen a lot, and put a lot of vocabularies and a lot of sentences a lot. So here's the thing. There are so many students who really memorize tons of vocabularies. Is that helpful? I think it's quite helpful in some cases, and other cases it doesn't help. It's not helpful to memorize natural or single vocabularies a lot. Instead of memorizing vocabularies themselves, it's better to put your mind in not only vocabularies but phrases that will help everyday conversations, like phrases at the restaurant, phrases at school, phrases at the university, at workplace. That will help. But if you always think about vocabularies, that won't help, and your English will not as perfect as ever. Instead, let me repeat it again. I think I'm clear. If you always want to speak English to learn a lot quickly, you have not memorized words. You have to memorize phrases that will help, because the more you learn the phrases, the better speaker will you be. Because, for example, if you want to memorize vocabularies themselves, that's really good, but it doesn't sound perfect, because if you learn a vocabulary, you are needed to put in a sentence, okay, to use it. But if you learn, for example, 100 vocabularies a day, you may not stick into your mind, okay? You may forget it. So instead of forgetting, you have to think about vocabulary. You have to think about phrases themselves. That's good. So right now, the second thing is, and without practice, you cannot be perfect. Yeah, that's clear. Without practice, you cannot be perfect. I know a lot of you from university, a lot of you from high school, a lot of you from primary, a lot of you had been given a certificate in English, but the thing is, you cannot express your thoughts. Why you cannot express your thoughts is that you didn't try to speak English even an hour.